Lawrence Welk lived a double life for years, and no one knew until now. For years, millions of Americans thought they knew Lawrence Welk. Every Saturday night, he appeared on television surrounded by bubbles, smiling musicians, polished dancers, and gentle music that seemed almost too innocent for the changing world around him. He was the man of champagne music, the famous host who could turn an ordinary melody into something warm and comforting. But there was another Lawrence Welk. Not a secret lover, not a hidden family, not some scandalous second identity. His real double life was much more surprising. It was the life between the man America saw and the man he had spent decades becoming. Lawrence Welk was born on March 11, 1903, on a farm near Strasburg, North Dakota. His parents, Ludwig and Christina, were German-speaking immigrants from the Odessa region, and the family lived a hard, disciplined farm life. Lawrence was the sixth of 8 children. Money was scarce. Work was not. As a boy, Lawrence learned something that would follow him for the rest of his life. Nothing came easily. He left school after the 4th grade. English was not even his first language. At home, German was spoken. Yet music became the one place where he seemed completely comfortable. His father played the accordion. Young Lawrence became fascinated with it. At 13, he was already performing at local dances. At 17, he finally got an accordion of his own, but there was a condition. He had to keep working on the family farm, and his musical earnings belonged to the family until he turned 21. That detail tells you a lot about the man he would become. Lawrence Welk dreamed big. But he never stopped thinking like a farm boy who knew exactly what things cost. When he left home at 21 to pursue music, he had very little money and plenty of obstacles. His accent was strong. His education was limited. And the world of professional entertainment was not waiting for a young accordion player from rural North Dakota. Still, he kept moving. He built bands. He played radio programs. He learned how to read an audience. He learned business. And slowly, the awkward young musician became a successful bandleader. Then came the transformation. Television made Lawrence Welk a national star. In 1955, The Lawrence Welk Show arrived on national television. Suddenly, the man who had grown up in a farmhouse was sitting inside millions of American living rooms. And he created an image that looked effortless. Champagne bubbles, bright costumes, smiling performers, clean music, a gentle personality. His famous A1, A2, A3 introduction became part of American television history. But behind that cheerful image was a man known for discipline, frugality, and control. That is where the double life becomes interesting. The Lawrence Welk people saw on television was designed to make life feel simple. The private Lawrence Welk understood that success was anything but simple. He treated his orchestra almost like a business empire. He was careful with money. He believed in hard work. He valued loyalty. And he carried the strict habits of his childhood into a world of enormous wealth. Even after becoming famous, he did not simply abandon the values that had created him. His wife, Fern Renner, whom he married in 1931, remained part of his personal life for decades. They raised 3 children together. Publicly, Welk became the smiling patriarch of a musical family. And privately, he remained deeply connected to the man from North Dakota. That contrast is what makes his story meaningful. Lawrence Welk did not really live 2 lives. He lived one life in 2 worlds. One world demanded entertainment, perfection, and sparkle. The other demanded discipline, responsibility, and restraint. And perhaps that is why his career lasted so long. He understood something many entertainers never do. People do not always want to see reality. Sometimes they want to see the possibility of peace. Welk gave them that. His music was criticized by people who thought it was too safe or too old-fashioned. But that criticism almost missed the point. He was not trying to sound like the future. He was protecting a feeling from his past. The warmth of home. The comfort of familiar music. The belief that life could still be orderly when everything outside was becoming chaotic. Lawrence Welk died on May 17, 1992, at the age of 89. And perhaps the most fascinating thing about his story is not that he supposedly hid another life. It is that he spent his entire career hiding how much work it took to make his public life look effortless. The bubbles were visible. The discipline behind them was not. And maybe that is the real secret of Lawrence Welk. The man America saw was smiling. The man nobody saw was still that determined young farm boy, working until the job was finished, protecting the music he loved, and refusing to forget where he came from. Sometimes, a double life is not about having two identities. Sometimes, it is about carrying two versions of yourself at the same time. And Lawrence Welk carried both until the very end.